Hello everyone, welcome back. Dom here, and in this video I'm really excited to show you and play for you MGuitar for the HALion family of products. This instrument brings us a legendary guitar that helps shape the sound of entire genres like country and folk. MGuitar by Acoustic Samples captures the wonderful sound of a Martin HD28 played both with fingers and a pick. The beautiful lower frequencies of the MGuitar make it especially perfect for all singer-songwriter arrangements. So let's check it out. The first thing I want to do is, of course, give you a quick tour of the interface, but before I do this, I want to play some music with MGuitar in real time. So I have a very simple arrangement here. I've got a nice acoustic drum kit with Groove Agent 5, and I also have electric bass for my bass, and I also have an electric piano from Vibrant, and I'm going to play MGuitar in real time. So let's do this. So that's MGuitar in the context of an arrangement, and the one thing that you will find that MGuitar does really well is when you play in real time. It's one of those instruments that you don't have to worry too much about programming. You only need to play it and lay down some cool music and it will sound good straight out of the box. Now let me give you a tour of the interface. Here's the interface, and it's actually very simple. The most important aspect of the interface is the modes. We have 3 modes. We have solo that I was using for this performance, we have chords, and we have patterns. Let me explain each mode. Solo mode will basically give you single notes. So I can go ahead and play some notes here. And then we have the legato modes here. So now I have legato off, but I can also say I want to have hammer-ons. So now if I play notes in legato, then I'm going to get hammer-ons. And I can set the legato interval, so maybe I want the legato interval to be triggered up to 3 semitones, but if I play a fourth, for example, I'm not going to trigger a hammer-on, and I can change this, of course, if I want to. And we also have the slides, so with the slides, when I play legato, we're going to get a slide. And I can also change the slide time. I can make it very fast or make it slower. So we have a longer transition. So depending on the style of music that you're playing and the tempo of your track, you have a lot of flexibility there. The next thing, of course, is the playing style. And we have finger style playing and pick style playing. So let me show you a little bit. So this is fingers, and let's switch it to pick. And next up, we have the string selection. We have manual and auto, and this will determine where every note is going to be played on the fretboard, okay? Because on guitars, you can play the same note in many different positions. So with manual, I have total control over the string selection, and with auto, I leave this to the algorithm to pick the right string selection. So let's play. So that's manual. Let's go to auto. And let's go manual, for example, and with manual, I can say I want this to be on the 10th fret, okay? Or I want it to be on the 1st fret. So you see the difference? It's very different. I want to show you the preferences panel. You have access to this panel by clicking this cogwheel icon right here. And here you have quite a few controls. The first thing is, of course, the release volume. That I like it to be all the way up because I want the release sounds from this guitar. It gives me this kind of realism. The fret noise as well. And here we have a lot of control when it comes to the dynamics. So how dynamic you want the guitar sound to be. Also the velocity curve for your keyboard and your playing style. So you have a lot of control here if you want to fine tune the guitar to your playing. And then here I can add some reverb, maybe some EQing. And here we also have the different microphones. We have overheads, we have closed mics, and we also have the DI sound if we enable this microphone. So now let's play. Let's add some reverb. And now I'm on hand position 11, of course, but I can also change this to auto, and let's see. And of course you can blend those microphone positions to get to the sound that you want. Beautiful. Now I'm going to show you the next mode, and after I show you this, I'm going to replay the track that I played before with the chords mode so that you can see the difference and how you can decide which mode works best for you. Okay, the chords mode is actually very, very interesting. It's very easy to use, and even if you have no keyboard skills, you can create realistic guitar parts very easily. So how does it work? As you can see, we have some colored keys here, and these keys, these red keys, trigger the chords. So we have strum down, strum up, we have muted strum down and muted strum up, and then we also have every single string. For example, the E string, the A string, the D string, and so on and so forth. And we also have a stop chord here. Okay, now let me show you how this works. It's actually very, very simple. For example, let's say I hold an E minor here. Now I can trigger strums right here. Very realistic and also very dynamic. Mutes as well. And we can also trigger arpeggios because all these notes trigger a different string. So even if you're a keyboard player, you can actually take advantage of this function and create some really, really convincing guitar parts. And if you're using Cubase, don't be afraid to use the chord pads to trigger the chords and then use these trigger notes to create the groove, okay? So it's very, very simple, and you can see that the algorithm is clever enough to pick up the right chords and transform them into proper guitar voicing for the chords. And you can hear all these little noises that add to the realism. Now, of course, we have some parameters here. The parameters change when we change the mode. So we have the strum speed, so we can have a faster or a slower strum speed. We can also have the left hand also trigger a chord. And as you can see right now, it doesn't trigger a chord, but if I turn it on, now, even my left hand triggers a chord. And for my playing style, I like this function. I always like to be like, you know, when I play my first chord, I can hear it. But sometimes you might want to completely leave the groove to these trigger notes here. Of course, we have finger and pick strumming. And you can also have a different style when you're just playing the strings, okay? So I can have a pick style strumming, but when I hit the separate strings, I can have finger style. For example, So you have a lot of flexibility, and this is what a real guitarist could do. You know, sometimes you hold the pick in your mouth and just, you know, do finger style playing. Very, very cool. And we can also change the strum center. So we can have a fuller strum or a little bit more of a, check the difference, you know, the top notes. And then we can also choose the string amount, which determines the number of strings played with velocity. So if I go all the way down, I'm going to trigger less strings with lower velocities. Check it out. Or all the way up to 6. Okay? Again, all these little nuances really play a big role when you want to create a guitar part. And before I play the same track again with this mode, I'm going to show you the patterns mode. Again, this is very similar to chords, but instead we have some pre-made patterns that you can trigger using your trigger notes. And you can set the pattern for each key by just clicking here and just selecting from a list of patterns. For example, I'm going to select pop pattern number 1. So you can trigger all those different patterns right here. Very easy. Now, like I promised, I'm going to play the same piece that I played at the beginning, but this time with the chords mode. So in this case, I'm going to trigger the strumming with these trigger notes and also the single notes. So let's do this. Before we finish today, I want to show you a trick that I use all the time to get a bigger acoustic guitar sound, and that's blending 2 guitar takes, sometimes with different guitars, on the left and right channels. So in this case, what I'm doing, let me show you. I have the M guitar on the left channel, and on the right channel, I have panned the T guitar, also from Acoustic Samples. So and this way, I get a bigger sound. And the great thing is, because they use the exact same system with the trigger notes, I can play them both at the same time. Check it out. Brilliant, I love this integration. They both work in synergy. So now what I've done is I've copied the MIDI track that I recorded on the M guitar channel to the T guitar channel. Let's have a listen. Let's see how they work together. They make a great combo. But until next time, I hope you have loads of fun with M guitar. I hope you make some great music with it. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.